All right, so I just got to put this bit there, and how do I do this? I guess I just put a bit of a face
On today's Circle Gherkin, Aaron's not with us, but we're working on a solution for that. We're going to talk about our secret shames, such as liking wrestling and collecting Transformers figures. And then we're going to have a big healthy dose of talking about the new Star Wars movies.
Hey, how's it coming along? I think we're done here. We're good.
Nice! Hi there and hello listeners. Ash here from Circle Gherkin, and you're listening to the Casual Pop Culture Podcast.
Oh, nailed it.
And I'm joined by the Kid Charisma.
Hello.
Ooh. And also...
I'm Aaron Lee. I'm absent from this podcast because I'm in Brisbane having a good time and stuff.
Yeah, but we found a way around that, haven't we, Ash?
Yeah, I didn't know we were engineers, but apparently we are.
We worked on it.
We workshopped
What
it.
did we build?
We've built the Aaron Lee bot.
What a bot. Look at it. What a bot.
Working title the Nintendrone, but we felt that was a little bit hard on him.
We built an Aaron bot. It's Aaron's head.
Well,
Sticky tape to a speaker. Not his actual head, obviously.
Well, let's be clear, it's a photo duct tape to a speaker.
Yeah.
But
it works.
It works. So it's going to be basically seamless. It's going to be an interactive Aaron experience like you've never experienced before.
I don't think you'll notice the difference.
No.
Let's be honest here.
No, so what's first on the agenda? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not much, to be honest. With Aaron away, mice don't play.
You don't say that. We have to pretend that... No, it's Aaron...
I mean, heaps of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Nintendo! Yes.
Poignant Aaron, yes. That's... I don't know why that's relevant, but either way.
Well, I don't have it.
Oh, I can tell you exactly one thing that I've been up to, but only really today. Today's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, Aaronbot. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. Just real quick, when I built the bot, every time we mention the word birthday,
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, man.
Oh, God.
he's gonna do that every time.
What, every time we say birthday?
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, man.
Okay, that one's on me. Right, okay, so moving on. So
just try not to actually... We're celebrating
okay,
today.
we're going to celebrate that special day. No, I think we're good for that one.
No, we think we're safe
Okay. But, yeah, we're working at the bugs. But I'm older. I don't know about wiser. I've learned a lot about...
Tonight. If you've got some knowledge on us, I guess
I'll
you're
try.
wiser.
Apparently, because now we've updated our website and we've got bios on there, I've now been known as the Fast Fact Finder for... That's a lot of Fs. the Circle Gherkin Fast Fact Finder. Which, if you haven't seen our website, it is circlegherkin.com.
You can read about how much Aaron loves Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. Nintendo! Yay!
There we go.
Really?
Yeah, I tagged all of these words.
But it's not hard to get him to say that either.
No.
Okay. But yeah, so older, not so much wiser. In fact, it's kind of funny that, I mean, I'm not 30 yet. I've got 12 months before I have to worry about being 30. But literally a week ago, I jumped on eBay and I did something shameful.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't need it, but I wanted it. And I bought a Transformers toy when I'm nearly 30.
Transformers collectible.
Well, it's really hard when
That's
you're
how
typing
you
it.
have to
You're
say
like,
it.
Transformers figure.
Yeah. Don't kid yourself on eBay. On eBay, it's toy. It's
Yeah,
totally
exactly. But like, there's nothing coming up for figure. What about Transformers collectible figure? It's like, that's not helping. The shame pit gets dug deeper
No, I'm
and
like
deeper.
TMNT toy.
Yeah.
Like, give me them turtle
And it's like
toys.
ages 7 to 9. You're like, that's perfect.
Put them together, 79. I'm younger than that. I can play with this.
I can play with all of them.
So, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, I've got...
Yeah.
Now that... Speaking of, the podcast today,
Yeah.
live from
Yeah.
the Kid Charisma computer room.
Live from the Kid Charisma office, the nerve center of his operation. Obviously, Aaron being away, we don't have access to the round table that we bragged about on the
So
last
we've got
chat.
my rectangular
We
table.
got the rectangular dinner
Oh,
table.
It's Square Nani.
Square Nani's
It's a
happening
Square
tonight.
Nani podcast.
Ah, for my birthday and everything. I'm so happy.
Look, I built you a bot. I done this. It's all good.
It's a good night.
But what'd you buy?
I bought it was like an Optimus Prime figure from the Cybertron games that came out a while ago. I saw it and I liked it and I wanted it. And then it was like it occurred to me that, you know, I was turning 29 in a week and I sort of went, But I found myself saying to my wife it was a secret shame, but is it really?
No, there's much I mean,
bet-
there's way secret
There's
shames?
Secret and more secretive shames.
Yeah, there's more shameful things that should be kept secret.
Yeah, would you... I'm about to say, would you agree with that, Aaron?
Yes. Yeah.
Mate, it's seamless.
Yeah, it drags out a bit though.
It does.
A simple
It
yes
does.
would have done fine.
So, but I mean, there's still things that I guess, when you meet somebody for the first time, there's sort of a short list of stuff you wouldn't immediately talk about. For me, I wouldn't say to somebody, hey, g'day, my name is Ash. I like buying Transformers toys.
Yeah, I mean, there's heaps about me that I wouldn't drop on people.
Yeah,
Look
but
around, I got... no, Nintendo's not embarrassing.
But Nintendo-
Turtles, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, it's not that bad nowadays. If you-
Mine's wrestling.
Sorry, what was that?
Wrestling.
Wrestling, really? Come on.
Yeah, I knew. I know. I shouldn't have put that in the bot.
It is. It is a seamless Aaron Lee experience. Yeah, I mean, I think I've just come back into wrestling recently. I liked it a lot when I was
bad.
younger. Yeah, it kind of is your bad because you reminded me of things.
And don't get me wrong. Like, I know wrestling is shameful. Like, it's a shameful thing.
Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't, I guess.
Nah, it is.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
And I know, it's fake. And the argument, if you, just to counteract that real quickly, if you do care about trying to find some sort of wrestling defense, or if you
Actually,
want
yeah.
to hear a defense, there is a big YouTube video at the moment. Is it Wrestling's Not Wrestling?
I think it's called Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. And I mean...
We'll link to it.
We'll
Yeah,
link
we
to
do
it in
that.
the video because we do that now on our website, which is, again, circlegherkin.com.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's good. But it's a 24-minute video. 24 minutes?
Yeah,
Either
which
way,
you think you're not going to be able to do.
you think, damn, this is a YouTube video? My YouTube time is like 4 minutes and then
Yeah.
that's it. I can't do any more. I watched the first 2 minutes thinking, oh, check it out. I got glued to it. It's full of, like, celebrities.
You don't need to watch it as a wrestling fan. You need
Yeah.
to watch it as someone... Actually, as a non-wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Really.
So the thing, without giving away too much, because it is still a really good movie, it's a really good little movie that basically says that obviously wrestling tells a story and it gives you an example of a story.
Yeah.
And it's a long one. Like,
And
this
it's
is
a
like...
this is a legitimate wrestling story.
Yeah, this is like flat out how a character plays through
obviously
it.
the imagery is parody and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but it is. Wrestling is self-aware itself that it
Yeah.
is a show about wrestling.
So, that's the thing. It's an interesting thing. Like, I can't really say to people, I like buying Transformers toys. You can't really say to people up front, I like wrestling. But when you meet somebody who shares sort of like, I won't call it a passion. I'm not passionate about Transformers. What comes just beneath passionate? Strongly interested.
There's something between that, right?
Yeah, do you think that's the right term, Aaron?
Nah, man, fuck that noise.
Okay, a bit strong from there, but
Yeah.
either way. It's still, I mean, when you meet somebody that you can talk to about it, it's really, really good. And then it's also it's a funny thing that the stuff that you're ashamed of nowadays, it's much easier to connect with people that share your opinions.
Yeah, it's getting better. I mean, comic books obviously are fine these days. You can love comic books. That's
It's funny.
that's
It was only like
completely
a couple of years ago. I was like, I remember when video games aren't cool, and now the same thing's happening with comic books.
fine. Wrestling's just around the corner. I'm
Yeah,
sure
crossed
of it.
fingers, it'll
Well,
happen.
I think wrestling came and went. Like the
Did it?
90s, it was like you were okay to be a wrestling fan in the 90s.
Yeah, but wasn't the 90s sort of a time when there was a lot of really sort of crazy characters?
Yeah, no, it was that time period. But I mean, it was okay to wear a wrestling shirt in public. In that, like, like, oh, you're Stone Cold. That's that alcoholic guy. Hilarious.
Alcoholic guy, that was his wrestling power.
The people that didn't watch it.
It's
I guess.
yeah, but if you think about like if wrestling characters had trading cards, which they do, it would be like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You flip it over, Powers, the Stone Cold Stunner, drinking beers,
beating his wife.
it's like he's from Texas. He does that, and that's what it would like. Wrestling characters were like caricatures in some ways.
Some guys listen to our podcast and text like, I don't beat my wife. Well, you can't just be stereotyping.
Then his wife walks in. He's like, "Not now, honey. I'm listening to the Circle Gherkins." Thanks for not beating me, Aaron. That was a terrible joke.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on.
I love this bot. I don't think we should let Aaron come back.
I don't. Aaron, how do you feel about that?
Nah, man, fuck that noise.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
We'll let him come back then.
Okay. I'm just waiting for him to like morph into a Dalek and take us out.
Oh, God.
Anyway, it's very real. It's a very real thing. But yeah, I mean, I think I mostly watched wrestling in the late 90s. And it was, when it's that sort of awkward period where you watch it and you're like, is it real? I don't think it's real, but maybe some of it's real.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to talk about it. So I started going to the Tasmanian, I guess, wrestling school.
That you did.
And
yeah.
not because it was never my plan. I was originally going to go and do some announcing, and mostly because I do love wrestling, and also I love Tasmanian things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need some support. I'm going to give it some support.
Yeah. I mean, we've gone a couple of times. It's just a local wrestling outfit. It's not, WWE levels of stuff. But you go
fun,
along,
though.
you see some guys in a ring, they tell a story, and don't get me wrong, it's a local story, so it's not big pyrotechnics and, multi-million-dollar arcs and things like that.
No,
But,
there's no video production or anything.
yeah, but it's a good time.
fun. Like, we've had a good time. Even Aaron, Aaron, I know how you feel about wrestling,
Wrestling, really? Come on.
but he had a good time when we went. The bot hasn't got a response for that, but
No. What does it?
Wrestling, really?
That would do.
Come on.
No, still complaining about wrestling. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I know he had fun. It was his reaction that made me want to go because I missed the first one that you
That's
guys
right,
went
yeah,
to.
you went.
Yeah,
But we went down, talk about the announcing and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, look, we're doing a trial. Give it a go." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a go."
yeah. It's interesting. They said you need to know when to talk and how to talk. And wrestling, the interesting thing about wrestling being that it's not that it's fake. It's more that it's predetermined. It's the sense that you have to, I guess, call the match without.
Calling the match.
Yeah. Like, you still need to see what's happening, but you can't sort of preempt things.
No, and I don't know that side of
'Cause that's
things yet,
the
but
bottom
for me,
line,
It's,
yeah.
it is physical.
It's a physical story, and that's the
I mean,
thing.
look at, you can't see it on the podcast, but you can see my elbows.
I can
And you
see
were there.
that.
You were there when I cut
I've
them
seen that's the thing. The training that goes into wrestling. A lot of people, obviously, the attack is it's not real, or they're lying to the audience. But there's still people doing physical things that requires them to train hard because things like getting thrown out of a ring and landing. Yes, it's landing on a mat, but you're still trying not to get hurt.
No, and that's it. And I haven't mastered that art yet.
You've also got band-aids on your elbows.
Yeah, because
you're learning.
Because you get, I don't know what you call it, but it's just like a carpet burn.
Well,
from
technically, it was canvas burn.
canvas burn.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The art of wrestling correctly is the being able to take what's called a bump. Basically, you see people get knocked down and all the rest of it, and they get thrown around and hit in different ways. And when they hit the mat, they're taking a bump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like,
You can't. Yes, it's obviously a softer landing.
it's a soft board and it's a spring-loaded ring, but you're still hitting on your
hurts.
back, and it's about distributing your weight and all the rest of it. So you can be accused that it's not real, but there's still a finesse that goes into it.
I'm learning.
Yeah, you're learning the finesse part.
Yeah.
You're getting there,
Slowly.
and that's why, like, even
My
if you
whiplashed neck, busted up elbows.
got to keep your chin on your chest, mate.
That's it.
Yeah, because
Not where I'm podcasting.
not while you're podcasting. That'd just be weird.
That's neck up.
Neck up.
It's very
open
confusing
throat.
to me. But that's really sprung away from your guilty things.
Yeah, it's still true though. I mean, that's the things that it's hard to talk about. You want to talk about them, but it's kind of I guess there's a burden of knowledge before you can really discuss it with somebody. Like, if you approach somebody who's not a wrestling fan, what kind of things do you think that they know about wrestling? If they've never sat down and watched it, they've probably heard
Fake and gay.
Yeah, exactly. They know that it's fake. They know that it's ridiculous. Like, they might be, I saw a guy that was, apparently a zombie.
And
it's
maybe the Chris Benoit tragedy.
yeah, they hear about, didn't that wrestler do a hot? Yeah, let's not talk about
Don't
that.
talk about it.
But that's the thing, like, stuff that you can't really explain to people why you like it. Like, for example, me, I've been talking to a friend recently. Like, the big reason that I went and bought that Transformers figure the other week is that recently he actually saw a figure that he liked. He's never bought stuff like this before, but he went out of his way to source and buy this particular character as a figure, and he actually got it imported from, I think, Japan, because he was like, it was my favorite figure growing up. I want him. Bought him and started talking to me about it, and I was surprised by how much I knew about I guess the community. Because beyond, like, obviously you've got your shitty $15 plastic toys that sit on the shelf and break at the first play. The kind of stuff you get for Christmas, you enjoy it on Christmas, and then it's stuff forever.
Oh, dude, I get so angry at myself. I look at the toys I had as a kid and how amazing they were. But, like, me and my brother, two different people. Mm-hmm. He still got toys when he was a kid.
Yep.
He looked after them. He used to get mad at me. He used to keep them on, like, top shelf.
Yep.
Me, I was like, oh, I've got a Mufasa toy. Mufasa's gonna jump up 50 feet in the air. And
Yeah.
he's gonna land into
Now
the
he's
pool
gonna
of water.
get buried in the dirt.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I fucking enjoyed my toys.
It was good, yeah. I had a Thomas the Tank Engine growing up. That bitch got destroyed with sand.
But now I see, like, these links, especially on the internet now. It's like,
Yeah.
did you own any of these toys? Be surprised by how much they're worth. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so much money.
Yeah, that's
but
the
I'm
thing.
still like that. I mean, you can see I don't keep collectibles in a box. Collectibles for me aren't, this will have resale value one year. Like, I got
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles here that are worth money now, the Reveltech ones.
Exactly.
That I open and pose. I love them. I
They're
just like
good
to
fun.
play with them.
And that's the interesting thing is that there's that entirely different level to, like I said, there's, like, it goes beyond, like, for me, I received as a gift a Masterpiece figure. which as far as Transformers go, it's basically
yeah.
it's basically a Transformer toy, finger quote, for adults.
Yeah.
First off, it's expensive as balls. So little Billy's not getting it unless his mother is really looking after that kid. Secondly, it's huge. Like, the thing's as big as my Yeti. It's this goddamn big.
Yeah. And I think that's the same philosophy that goes for the Revoltech Turtles.
Yeah.
They are fully posable figurines. You
Yeah.
could play with them,
And that's
but they're not designed for kids to play with.
And that's the thing, it's where sort of that line gets drawn, where it stops being referred to as a toy and starts getting called a figure or a collectible. And this
It's
particular...
usually if it's like 3 figures long or more in the
about to
cost.
say, once you start getting into the three figures of money sort of thing, it's like, this isn't really a toy anymore.
No.
And I love this goddamn thing. Like, that's the thing, I didn't pay for it. It was a gift, and it's one of my favorite gifts ever, because this is like Transformers for grown-ups. I'm like, wow, it's got so many fiddly little pieces, and like it transforms in a crazy way, and like it, I'm not looking at it going, oh, Transformers. I stare at it, and I think about the engineers that had to come up with how this works. And I go, it's incredible. Like, this, it's, if people who care about Transformers, it's Soundwave. The dude turns from a humanoid robot into a boombox. Come on, man. Yeah.
They've got like the PlayStation 1 now, so it's somewhat like is PlayStation 1 it turns into?
Yeah, there's a PS1 Transformer that turns into a PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And there's one that turns into a Mega Drive.
Yeah, that's it. The other one.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what
They're
Transformers
cool
are.
looking.
It's in the name. They transform. So you get all these cool ones that transform into different things, and like that's why I appreciated the idea. As a Transformer engineer, you'd have some dude walk up to you and they put like a little humanoid robot in front of you, and then they put like a random item like a car or a gun, and they go,
Make them one.
Make them the same thing. They gotta be 2 in 1, and that's the thing. Transformers, they're like toys that are 2 figures in 1.
Because Transformers, like I missed the Transformers boat. I don't know if I'm just that little bit too young.
No, it was sort of around. I guess you had Turtles, and it was it wasn't so much that there was 2 camps, but you had Turtles, I had Transformers, somebody else.
My brother is Transformers.
Is he? Yeah.
And I was Turtles.
Yeah.
And Quinny, apart from you, the other guy that I know that loves Transformers, who is just that little bit older than me, around your age, also Transformers.
I know, mate, and I'm so happy you got me Peter Cullen's signature.
Yeah.
Again, for people that don't know, Peter Cullen's the voice of Optimus Prime, and I don't mean like, he was the voice at some point. Cartoon, most games, the Michael Bay movies, he is Optimus Prime. He's the man.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
That's his shtick.
But that's the thing, there's like a whole other level. Like, as a kid, Transformers. As a grown-up, there's like $600 figures. And like, it's not even just, the people that, license and create Transformers, like Hasbro. There's people out there making third-party stuff. Mm-hmm. They, in their garage, I don't even know how, maybe with 3D printers.
Some of the custom figures blow me
And
away.
it's fans expressing themselves in this insane way, where they start creating things that didn't exist. Like, probably the best example is that obviously the toy makers, Hasbro and stuff, they make figures that they know will be easy. Jazz, he turns into a Porsche 911. People like that car, he's a cool robot, we'll release that. But then you might have another character and doesn't turn into anything iconic. He might be popular, but not popular enough for a toy. He might even be hard to make. He might turn into something ridiculous. Like, we're not making that. Fans come forward and go, you know what? Here we go. We made it. And they made it. And like, it's something crazy as well. Like, it sounds stupid, but there was a female Transformer called RC. And she never turned into, she turned into a sports car, but it wasn't like a real one. It was just sort of a random drawing. It was supposed to be like an alien sports car. But she was a female Transformer, so it meant that she had a lot of skinnier limbs and stuff.
Are there not... How many female Transformers are there?
Not a lot. There's probably 3.
Is there a reason, story-wise?
Story-wise, they don't really care. It's sort of... honestly, you look it up, why the female Transformers, and the answer is because. There's not a reason. They don't breed, quote-unquote. They're just feminine Transformers. I mean, technically, if you want to really think about it, Transformers are asexual. Some of them are just feminine.
They are robots, I guess. That's really...
They're robots. In disguise. but RC, like I said, not a lot of figures. They've made 2 or 3 over the years, because she's a spindly, weird thing. Out there, people love making figures of her.
Yeah.
Not in a creepy way.
But on a commercial level, it's just not a thing.
No, not really viable. Like every couple of years, like they love, the Hasbro knows that adults are buying this stuff, so they'll be like, here's a special edition. Bam!
Well, yes, I guess their product has grown up with their audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is,
I'm guessing when the Transformers came out straight away, there wasn't these super.
There was toys. Let's be clear. Transformers was released to sell toys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's what there was.
Yeah,
there wasn't collectible.
There was a comic book, and there was toys, and there was a cartoon. It was the typical Saturday morning thing of it was kind of funny as well. Is that it was so driven to sell toys that the storyline in the comic or the cartoon would change just to sell toys. It's this week we're introduced to Outback, a badass warrior that can destroy anything. Oh, cool. So the bad guy next week's going to be defeated by him as well. This week, a new bad guy turns up. Oh, that's cool. Outback will get him. But the Dinobots are here to help. And it's
what are the Dinobots?
Who are the Dino? I don't get... Mom, I don't want that toy. Put Outback away.
Yeah, there must have been...
Give me the Dinobots.
There must have been so many angry parents I just...
And exactly that, and you read about it as well. It cracks me up because I Humble Bundle bought all the old comic books as well, and the number of times that random characters show up on the cover just because they had a new toy out that week. It's they've got a storyline where the Transformers are deep in space, cut off from all their friends, and then they run into this guy
until
Jeff.
Their friends come.
Jeff, transforming karate chop action available now. And it's what? No, cool. Hey, I'll get Jeffbot.
I better buy the Jeffbot.
Yeah, and that's how they sold it. This thing, if you look up the basic thing of the rule of Transformers, to sell toys. And it still works today, I guess. I mean, Michael Bay might think he's making blockbuster films, and he is to a degree, but he's also making cash cow monies.
Yeah, and the new Ninja Turtle film wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for the Turtle fans.
Yeah.
And why would it be? Why should it be? We're already buying everything Turtles.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know what kind of Turtles you like. You buy those.
There are Turtle fans out there, I can tell you now, that have bought the new film on Blu-ray but don't like it. They just bought it because it's a Turtles film. There would definitely be this. I still haven't.
Yeah, well, I own all the new Transformers movies.
I own Iron Man 3 just to have it in my Marvel collection, but I fucking hate that film.
They've really tapped into us, haven't they?
Yeah.
They know exactly how we work.
And that's it. So they will. They'll keep doing that because they're not catering for us. They're catering for a new audience.
And that's the thing, like you said, it's these things that we've grown up and we've become adults, finger quote. I'm only 29. I'm going to barely call myself an adult, but we have disposable incomes and we know what we like, and now we can buy the things that we like.
These kids that used to get toys now have their own money.
Yeah.
Let's sell them collectibles.
I was telling you today
that
how...
I turned Russian as that went on.
The collectibles that I buy.
Yes, they will buy all of the toys. They sell them.
To sell them?
Sell them.
It's true though, and people, I'm still laughing at the Russian.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I told you this afternoon, I decided, hey, there's new Transformers toys coming out. I'm not big on buying the new stuff. Like I told you, I'm into the collectible realm now. I like buying collectibles.
Yes, you buy the collectibles.
I buy the collectibles. But I decided to go check it out. They're re-releasing. I love it. They re-release old characters and they make new figures for them. I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I went in there and it's just the woman behind the counter is just in this toy store. I feel her eyes burning a hole in me. And it's sometimes, legit, I go in there and buy toys for my nephew, which I do. I have a nephew who's young enough to enjoy that stuff. But she knows I go in there just to browse mostly. Mm-hmm. Beeline to the Transformers section, have a look around, mostly scoff at things. I'm like, God, this toy is disgustingly bad. And then I walk out.
The little kid you would pick up that same toy and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'd be like, I love the Michael Bay movies. I want all the toys.
And that's fine. This is the argument I had with somebody. I know I'll hate the Turtles film. Then I saw it. I hated the Turtles film. They're like, yeah, she's no bullshit. I'm like, no, because it's not made for me. I know, my nephew, when he gets a little bit older, he's probably too young for it now, will see it and he'll love it. He'll think it's
he'll probably think it's badass.
He'll think it's the knees of bees.
Yeah, and that's what happens, I guess, with sort of the old stuff that we enjoy that moves forward and becomes the new stuff that we don't really enjoy. There's people out there who love the new Transformers films. It doesn't bother me. It's obviously, like you said, with the Turtles film, it's not made for me. That's the problem with, I guess, reboots and remakes and restarts and all the rest of it.
What about you, Aaron? What are your thoughts on the new Ninja Turtle films and the Transformers films being, made for kids and not us?
To be completely honest, it doesn't really bother me.
Wait, really? Do you really feel that way?
Nah, man, fuck that noise.
That's what I thought. That's what I
thought. That's better, because I'm about to say...
Aaronbot, I had him too sensitive. I had him
too sensitive. Good. Hook it up.
Yeah,
stronger,
now put it
higher.
to real mode, Aaron Lizard.
Right.
Well, that first segment went for a long time. I feel take a
I
bit
think
of a
it
break.
did. Obviously, there's a special guest today. We're going to be joined with a lesser-known gherkin. I guess he's a gherkin.
We've mentioned him many a time.
Many a time.
He was actually booked in to fill in for the Aaron Lee today, but we decided to build this bot in case things fell through. And we've just made him sit in the car until we're ready to call him.
I think he's ready to come in now.
So let's go to a bit of tweak
A
labbage.
little bit of tweak labbage, yes.
You think that's a good idea there, Aaron?
Yep.
Alrighty, tweak lab it is.
Excellent. All right.
Nah, man, fuck that noise. Nah, man, fuck that noise. 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 Fuck that. Nah, man, fuck that noise.
Thems was some tasty tweak lab and Aaronbot combined tunes.
It's the digital age.
We did it.
It's a new union of sounds.
As beautiful as what it was. What do we call that song?
It's I think it's called the Aaronbot mix, tentatively titled.
Yeah, it's a good name. It will do.
When we'll release it on iTunes, we won't. Anyway.
Well, we could raise money for the African kids.
Really? The effort? You're still seeking penance for
Yeah,
that?
I personally want to say that as far as I go on this podcast, I think that we should try to raise some money for the African kids.
Nah, man, fuck that noise.
Oh!
What setting is it on?
I had it to the realist. I had it
Okay,
to Iggy mode.
just quick.
I'm going to reel it back.
Wait, calibrate. Aaron, do you really think that's an appropriate thing to say?
To be completely honest, it doesn't really bother me.
Whoa! Come on now. All right. Bring it back. Bring it back.
It's just like
Bring it back.
Nintendo.
It's very
Nintendo.
simple.
Okay, let's say it a bit more, Aaron. No, a little bit more.
Nintendo.
Spot on. That's perfect. All right.
All right, now that's sorted. Aaronbot, you move over a little bit. Because, ladies and gentlemen, golf clap for our friend, our bro, Mr. Alex Brosnan.
Hey everybody.
Yeah, we weren't going to stop until you started this.
there's three people in the room.
Fair enough.
Hey,
Hey, bro.
Alex is filling in for Aaron, technically.
Technically.
Yeah, Aaron's away, so I thought I'd come and join in. Happy birthday, Ash.
No.
Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, there's with the Aaronbot, there's a lot of just words that
yeah.
trigger things. Birthday. I didn't say it all, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
That
Cut it off.
word, though.
Special day. No, that sounds like my. Sounds like my.
special
It sounds like my bar mitzvah or, hey guys, I'm getting circumcised on the weekend. You've got something to say about that, Aaronbot? No, good. Moving on. I'd be worried.
There were certain trigger words
But
that
You don't want
couldn't get anything
don't
out of him. for that
didn't
one.
come
Don't
out.
need-
Oh. So, fellas, this is just something we came up with that we saw on the break. Very interesting. Mario Party not reviewing that well.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's classic IGN. Well, fuck, we better give this game some negatives.
But that's the thing. What were the positives?
Positives, okay.
The mini games.
I got
fun.
rid of the review off the screen.
The mini games, real fun. Typical Nintendo.
Yep,
what they
5-player
do.
mode, really enjoyable.
Yep.
So hold on, just stop there. When you pick up Mario Party, here's what I say. Oh fuck yes, mini games with my 4 friends. What a great time! That's what I'm fucking looking for in Mario Party.
It does actually crack me up that's... What was the negatives?
Infrequent mini games, which I don't. Maybe they just rolled the dice and then hung around for 10 fucking minutes. I feel like you roll the dice, you go into a mini game. Isn't that the formula?
I think so. They must have changed it for 10 rather than
But then
what they did in the old
is it, a
version.
cutscene?
That's the big thing for me, is I heard that 10 was going back to more classic
That's what I
Mario
thought.
parties.
But they must have Nintendo'd it.
But I thought when you Nintendo something, you change something very little, so it's still the same, and then you release it and people go apeshit.
I can see the Aaronbot just fucking boiling over here.
It's
with all
alright.
this Nintendo
Right,
talk.
we'll try and keep it. Just calm down. Just
Because we know Aaron's gonna want to.
He'll talk about it next
right.
week.
No,
But
you know.
let's just make sure Aaronbot doesn't blow a gasket. Big news from yesterday, Rocco. You were reading about it, and apparently you didn't see anything about it.
don't
Kid,
care.
don't really care. That's fair
Probably
enough.
gonna fucking be another Pikmin.
Oh, you really hate that game,
Yeah,
don't
I
you?
do.
Fuck it.
Okay, so the big news was that Nintendo, as a big company, has entered a partnership with are they Japanese?
I think so. A
Japanese mobile game developer called DNA. It looks like Dina. It's
DE. NA.
NA.
D's Nuts Olay.
Ole. Yes, so These Nuts Ole are very well known for making mobile games.
Aaron would be so mad if he was here.
It's good. He can teeter off. You know, just... All right, calm down.
He can be angry on his holiday.
He can be...
Yeah.
That's the thing, he's in Brisbane. He
Exactly.
doesn't care.
Yeah.
Fun and
So-
sun.
Yeah, so the bottom line is, without going into too much detail, because you probably want to do this next week, don't you, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, good, fair enough. So, mobile games, Nintendo flavor. The interesting note that I've seen is that they've said that they mostly want to do original games.
Yeah, I don't know whether that includes their already known characters. I imagine it would.
It's
Surely.
just-
But then, if they do that, they'll just be rehashing the same things.
it's just
Nintendo
so
rehashing things? Never.
fucking just. It's just so Nintendo.
It is.
And I don't know. I might be wrong, but I feel like if Nintendo did this announcement and said, by the way, yep, we're going to release new Mario Bros. Or classic Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. For mobile, the world would be like, well, I'm going to buy that most definitely.
It's like when they re-released the old ones on the Wii.
Yeah, but they're like, you know what? Instead, we'll do original content. There's people out there that don't want the original content.
I don't mind about the that's the thing, yeah. Like, I don't care about the re-releases. I'm actually okay with it sometimes. It's just sometimes the prices suck. Because I was like, I'd like to buy that
Yeah.
game. It's like, $11, Nintendo!
It has to be reasonably.
That's the thing.
Reasonably priced Nintendo games.
Well, we've seen what the App Store looks like on both, Android and Apple. If they release like, hey, we're going to do it for $11, people are going to... I think even Nintendo fans would be like, come on now.
But they will.
They will buy it, though.
And people
No,
go,
but
it's
they will release it at a ridiculous price.
Yeah.
People go, it's $11. Well, I better
But
put my
then-
wallet up.
But then, on the other hand, they are releasing free-to-play games because Pokemon Shuffle's actually pretty nifty for a free game. Don't get me wrong, it's a Pokemon
I
Bejeweled
don't know
clone.
what that is.
It's a Pokemon Bejeweled clone that they released for free on the 3DS recently, and it's got in-game purchases if you want to, but it's actually free enough that you can play it and not be
I
bothered.
sold my 3DS when Aaron talked about Pikmin. No, that's not true.
Okay.
I did get rid of my 3DS,
You
and
did.
now I've kind of kicked myself since because all of a sudden Nintendo's like, I better put some games out on this bitch.
Yeah, and there's a lot of games out on it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's cut it off
Enough,
there.
enough.
Cut there. Aaronbot, you want to talk about it next week? All right. Good.
Just get a couple of Nintendos out of your system and just beep,
Yep.
boop, boop, beep, boop, boop.
Okay, that's
Yeah, that's enough.
just is it like a big button labeled Nintendo? It's like
Yeah, I got to select one.
it's a big picture of Miyamoto on the back. They just keep hitting.
He sponsored it.
Of
That's how I
course.
got it built so
Nintendo.
quickly.
Okay, there we go. That's where it came from. All right.
It was me.
The money came from the first Mario mobile game.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's-
Ironically, it actually came from Pikmin sales that they built the pod.
So now you. Oh. Anyway, moving
Anyway,
on.
the actual topic that we were going to talk about. We got Brocco in.
See, in Porn Stars and whoa, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, in the TV show Porn Stars about a pawn shop, when you want to check out something, you try and bring in.
Gotta call a mate.
You try and call a mate or closest thing to an expert you can, and I couldn't get George Lucas in today, so Brocco, you have to step in for us.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. So
Yeah, fair enough. I'd like to make it straight. I'm not an expert.
I
to
know
start with.
that's yeah.
But
I
like
like
we
it.
talked about
I
early,
like it a lot.
early in the podcast, his not guilty pleasure because it's okay to love Star Wars,
Yeah.
but Star Wars is his guilty pleasure.
things that you like
Yeah.
quite a bit.
What'd you get today? What'd you get in the mail today?
I got the Sideshow 1/6 scale R2D2.
Yeah,
Which is ultra cool.
it is very nifty.
I thought it was pretty cool, and then it lit up, and I was like, "That's ultra cool."
But that's the thing. Not only it didn't just light up, it like changes colors and
Yeah.
things.
And the head spins around, and it's got the little drinks tray that
Does it
sits on
do
the top.
beepity boops?
Doesn't make any noises.
Doesn't
though.
beepity boop.
No bippity boobs. Sorry, that's I can only get so much out of a figure. Which
But
was
yeah, it had the drink tray.
Had the drink tray, had the little lightsaber and everything.
Can you push a button to have the lightsaber fire out of it?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
Not a
You just put it-
Hasbro
haven't
toy,
had
it's
enough
not a
time.
Transformer.
It's got the little table from A New Hope, where
Yeah.
the little Princess Leia lights up on it.
Which
Which
is-
actually lights up and
That's
stuff.
so. That's
That
the
is
coolest
really
thing
cool
to me.
Yeah, I didn't know how they try and do like sort of a fake hologram, but they did that at it owns. Anyway, no, stop talking about toys. I'll start talking about Transformers again.
That's fair.
So
Continue.
What we're talking about today is December. People are looking forward to a new Star Wars movie, which means after the second trilogy, we're still hungry for more.
That's fair.
I think we're.
I mean-
I think we're just hungry for good ones.
Did we ever get full?
Yeah, better say. I think we're still hungry after George Lucas's last ride. So it's interesting. I mean,
He
obviously,
promised a main and he gave us an entree.
Exactly.
no, he gave us a main, but there were big plates and there was very little on them.
That's it.
Fancy restaurants. You
Fancy-
went in,
fancy
they
rest-
spent all of this money, and we just got very little for our
But
money.
it was
But-
the very little at the start was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we went to a different restaurant.
Yeah.
And we were
We
like,
got a very small plate and the food hung over the edge and it wasn't great.
George Lucas made us change restaurants. Actually, no, this is the wrong restaurant. We're going to a different one.
yeah.
This one doesn't serve the big palmies. Better go somewhere else.
We're going to digitally add chips later. But I want chips now.
We ordered schnitzel so they could digitally put in the parma on top.
So something I'd like to mention is that it's very interesting because you read everywhere and everyone has an opinion about obviously the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, and then you got 1, 2, and 3, and then A New Hope, and Big Anakin, Little Anakin, and all the rest of it. But the one thing I keep coming back to that always interests me is the fact that people said the original trilogy. You know, you've got 4, 5, and 6, you've got Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Was it A New Hope?
A New Hope's the
A
fourth one.
Yeah, A New Hope. I knew it. That's impressive for me.
Or episode 1.
Everyone talks about episodes 4, 5, and 6 as being so amazing because they were a collaborative effort. That George Lucas sat down and wanted to make films, but there was also people close to him that were basically his counsel that would say, "No, Luke, that's not a good idea. No, George, that's a bad idea."
You think an actual Star Wars?
I like to think that he is Luke Skywalker somewhere, you know.
This is more Anakin.
Yeah, but that's the thing that people were saying that, yeah, that's probably not a good idea. Like, you can imagine he's making, like, episode 5 and goes, we should have a guy called Jar Jar Binks, and he does this, and they go, actually, George, that's probably not a good idea, and he's like, okay.
Yep. And then the new movies came along and everything was George Lucas. And it's all digital and there's no real effects and there's Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, you can imagine that they
Which
thought...
is, I mean, he's an okay character
You can
in
imagine
his
they're
own
just
rights. But
throwing
he's-
money at him and going, oh, George
Yeah.
Lucas must be able to do this. This is going to be great. And then the movies came out and they're not... I don't think
Was it
I don't think they're offensively bad.
Was that when they came out, were they disliked, or was it like in a reflection, people were like, actually, no, they're crap?
See, I think the people they marketed to were, I mean, the originals came out and they were marketed to the teenagers of the 80s.
This is exactly what we just talked about at the start.
Yeah,
You weren't here.
The new ones came out and they were marketed to the kids and the teenagers.
Yeah,
of
the generation
2000s.
shift. It's so
Yeah.
true.
Now, we talked about this at the start, like the new Transformers film and the new Ninja Turtle film aren't made for Ash and me. They're
No.
made for the
No.
new
The new
generation.
kids.
But we
Yeah.
still go and see them because we're bitter, dedicated fans.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the Star Wars films. Because the thing is, the new trilogy, financially successful. You
Very,
can't say they're
very.
not.
Right, so this new trilogy, we're getting into Nintendo territory here, just slapping you on the front of things. The new Star Wars are catering for the old fans.
Well, I
And
don't
the
know.
new
I
fans.
think they could be.
They're catering for all.
They've got new characters and old characters. All the old cast.
Emphasis on old characters because
Old characters.
even
I
the
mean,
people playing them are
they're
old now.
The characters have been around a while and the actors have been around a while as well.
Are they just in this film to introduce the new cast?
I don't know. They haven't really told
what they've been
anyone
very
much
quiet,
about
haven't
them.
they?
I
There's
don't think
no-
we're going to see Mark Hamill doing a lot of,
No, I don't think him- I
sword
don't-
fighting with his
Same
lightsaber.
as
Carrie Fisher?
Peter Mayhew, who plays Chewbacca.
Huh.
He's had multiple knee surgeries, so I don't think he's going to be doing much.
Every shot is
But-
Chewbacca sitting down.
He's just sitting down in a chair. He's just piloting the
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon.
It's
He's
just
going with us, Chewie.
come on, Chewie, got to check it out. Oh, I suppose you're right. You better stay there and
better
watch.
sit
You
right
better
there.
watch
That's
that.
it, Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm looking forward to the new ones. Mainly because there'll be a new story and new plots and
I've been wanting to pick
And
your brain.
puppets.
I want to pick your brain about this as well because that's the big thing as well is that they've already said they're not going down the expanded universe. And let's be clear, the Star Wars expanded universe, it's not just a wiki on the internet. It's this huge other beast of a thing.
that's a big argument for another day. But I mean, like,
Do you feel that they'll cherry pick things that they like from it and then ignore stuff like force
it's hard to
sensitive
say.
wampus?
When Disney took over Star Wars, they basically said anything that's not in the films is not canon.
Yeah, Disney just was
So,
like, they were black and white.
They basically said if it's not in the film, it's no longer canon. So all those books that have been written are just like fantasies on a fantasy universe.
Honestly,
Which I love.
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
I love
So
comic
it's
books.
interesting-
Comic books love doing what if stories.
Yeah, but not
Exactly.
that, like, there's all these great storylines and great characters in the extended universe. Cut. Jar Jar Binks fucking stays.
Yeah,
Like,
Jar Jar Binks. But
isn't that crazy though?
that amazing novella about how Jar Jar Binks fell in love with a force sensitive Wookiee, gone. Go on.
And that was the best bit.
Yeah, and
Like,
if you're Googling this right now, I feel sorry for you. You're going to be very disappointed in a moment.
No, it serves you right. You shouldn't Google that. It's
And
Okay.
like the Clone Wars series was a great series. I don't know how Disney's incorporating that into their universe, if that's included or not, but that had Mechanical Darth Maul. It had a whole bunch of other really cool Sith.
I forgot about Darth Maul got cut in half, but came back with robot legs.
robot spider legs.
Yeah, there was. I remember
Which is
seeing the
actually
toys.
a really cool character.
It was. Let's be clear.
He's
Darth
like He's
Maul.
like a hobo that lives in this like garbage planet.
So wait, hold on. So he's just like a fucking wrestler-faced hobo spider?
Basically, yeah.
Fantastic!
You know,
He's a really cool character.
I'd like to believe that somewhere Darth Maul's legs has got a new cybernetic top half as well, and then they're going to team up to take down the Jedi.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Man.
buddy
me. You got me.
cop movie. Buddy cop movie with top half and bottom half of Darth Maul. I'd watch it. 2 thumbs up.
So yes, the new film's coming out this year.
December, isn't it?
December
feels
16th
like-
or 17th or something. It's
That
creeping up
feels
pretty
so
quickly.
close, yeah.
It's creeping up very quickly. And I've watched the
They
trailer
are
many
so
times.
quiet about something that's
They
coming out
are.
in December.
Yeah,
But
there's-
that's the thing. The trailer actually has a lot going on. For a short trailer of just snippets, it raises a lot of questions that you can't wait to
Okay,
answer.
One question that I do need answering, and I feel Alex will know.
Right?
Soccer ball robot man.
apparently it's a real thing. It's not,
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
not CGI.
how?
Who knows?
Okay, so you don't know?
I don't know. No, I haven't.
Ash, you're the now. Did you get older and wiser? This is it. This is the test.
I probably couldn't answer this question yesterday. But I'm actually good friends with somebody who's good friends with a lot of basically droid builders. Like,
The old friend of a friend.
it's
Yeah.
true though. I've got to bring in a mate for this one. But he is actually connected to quite literally a community of people that build R2 units. Like they just flat out build astro
I think
droids.
he's got one, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he doesn't. He has his own
I know
R2,
this
but
friend, yeah.
as soon as that trailer was up, there was just a meeting of the minds. You know, hooded figures going, "But what about this? And I want to do this. But how do this?" There's discussion of magnets and things. The other thing, they mentioned obviously that it is a real robot, but they did not mention whether or not it had been touched up with CGI.
Yeah.
Because technically, you could have a sphere
That rolls.
which rolls, but it's separated into 2 halves. There'd be basically a pin holding the head up that would then balance on it, and basically using, I think it's centrifugal force, you can hold it in place as it rolls forward.
So instead of being a ball that's round on all sides, it's a cylinder,
It
basically, with
basically,
rounded ends.
yeah, it looks
And
like
the way
a ball.
that it's shot, so that it rolls,
Yeah.
you can only see one side of it.
Correct, and then they could just blue screen out the little thing that holds it up. Of course, there's probably a droid builder out there right now working on some fiendish device of pulleys and magnets who's just said, you know what, you're fucking wrong.
Congratulations to me and you, by the way.
Hmm.
We've managed to have a podcast tonight that ties back constantly to the first
I
half.
know, it's layers upon layers.
We don't
It's-
need no Aaron Lee or Aaron Lee bot. I think we just fucking cut Aaron. That's it. We'll just cut him.
Nah, man, fuck that noise.
Or we'll keep him.
Okay.
We'll keep him.
Just keep it. I keep. Yeah, okay. Anyway, going back to robots, I didn't ask. Is the guy who plays C-3PO in the new film?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know how they're
apparently he didn't have a very good working relationship. Or, sorry, for lack of a better term, he was considered to be a bit of a prick.
doing... Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's because he had to spend many hours in a
Yeah,
giant,
let's
a
be
very tight
real.
metal suit.
Yeah.
But everyone, like all the bits that you read about the 2 robots, R2 and C3, but they're in every single film. They are the main characters of Star Wars. So to
That's
speak.
pretty funny when you think about it, too.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, oh, Luke
They are
Skywalker
always
was...
there.
No.
They're always part of whatever's going on.
They're on every poster,
And, like-
too. My God.
Yeah, they're always in. Like the very last scene of the movie, or a couple of the movies, I think that it's Luke or Han or someone standing on a ship with R2 and C3PO right next to him.
Yeah, right. Every film?
They're in every single film. It ends differently, of course, every film, but
Yeah,
they're,
obviously.
but they're both in. They're both there every single time.
So Star Wars Episode 9, we've been through 9 epic films. It just ends with C-3PO waking up going, oh, well, I'm sorry, Master Luke. I was having a bit of a dream.
that,
I dreamt episode 1, 2, and 3 happened.
They
What? No.
they reboot it all over again. George Lucas is spitting in his grave at that point. He's like, I could have done
Fans are
that. We love you, C-3PO.
It's the best damn robot dream ever. Can robots dream?
They dream of electric sheep.
let's not go there.
You did get wiser in your old age.
Oh God, I'm ancient now. So tell me this though. So they've definitely committed to doing 3 new films.
3 new films with a extra bit in between each one, so a spin-off between the 3.
So tell me about the spin-off though.
Do we know anything about the spin-off?
Is it,
Spin-off is called Rogue One or Rogue Squadron.
Oh, okay. I
That's
thought
about
it was
all
going to
we
be
know.
called What Boba Fett Did in the Sarlacc Pit.
That's all we know.
Jar Jar Jivin.
That is.
The holiday flick. Christmas
God.
flick.
So we just have to wait. I have to wait and see.
It's going to be interesting, though.
I'm looking forward to it just because I enjoy Star Wars, and
I suppose one question I do have is George Lucas involved at all?
I don't know.
Like, do they go to him and say, hey, this planet,
think-
these aliens, they come from there, or anything like
I
that?
feel like they should know
I
that.
think that's all written down somewhere.
So
like
what
the-
you're saying is that they've got George Lucas's little black book.
Basically.
No, I reckon they have all the other little characters that were helping George in the first place, and they've got all them back in. No, George, like, you come back. You come
Yeah,
back.
who collaborated with George in the first place? Me. Come
You
in.
guys are
I
hired.
think he's there like their overseer.
I'm about to say.
He kind of stands in the background and goes.
He sits in a hooded robe.
I like that. But the thing is, he's standing there and he knows all this stuff about it. And then when what's his name that's doing the new film, the
Mickey Mouse.
Star Trek.
No, it's is it
J.J.
J.J.
Abrams.
Abrams?
Doing the
J.J. Abrams?
doing the new
J.J.
one.
Abrams.
Whenever he says, "Let's do this," and George goes, "No," he goes, "Yes, this is what we're doing."
Yeah. He
Oh
goes,
my
More-
god.
we're on to a good
More
thing.
lens flares.
Oh, God.
No. Be concerned. Because J.J. Abrams
Yes,
cut out the Abrams. What do you got?
JJB. Jar Jar Binks.
That's right, Jar Jar Binks is doing the new Star Wars films.
Oh my god.
You heard it here first on Circle Gherkin.
You can imagine-
Jar Jar Binks.
At the premiere, he pulls off his human face. You're gonna love this!
That was me all along.
Like,
Jar Jar.
you can imagine, like, the opening scene of episode 7 is, like, Luke cradling his child that he's just had and pulls back, like, the little blanket, and it's Jar Jar. Smash cut.
Oh, that's
Credits
horrible.
roll.
Right, like the new films will be entertaining. That's what they're there for.
I suppose the big question
So-
I'd have to have...
Yes.
I mean, I've had a lot
So,
of big
they don't.
questions, I guess, is... I mean,
You got a lot of questions.
I do. Well, it's one of those things that, like, I don't know...
We called a friend in.
I'm about to say, I don't know a lot about Star Wars. I know bits and pieces, and I got friends who, like, I got a friend who, if I say Force-sensitive Wookiee, he gets really upset, that kind of thing. But it's just questions that I have. Obviously, Episode 6 was basically, you know, lol, wrap up. The Sith's gone. We've destroyed all the bad guys. Vader's dead, and Palpatine's gone. And they say that there's always one, a master and apprentice. Wait, how does the Sith come back? Do they have any ideas? Is it just going to be that somebody, you know, goes, hey, I'm Force
There's all
sensitive.
kinds of
I like
theories
red
about
lightsabers.
What the new story is going to be in the extended universe that no longer exists. There's a family or couple who are the son and daughter of Han Solo and Princess Leia.
I've heard about that.
I can't remember their names, but it's possibly about them. They basically, when in the story, in the books, they are a Jedi twins. One of them goes Sith, one of them's a Jedi.
I think that's great.
Is
So
it
it's
just
possibly that kind of story, but we kind of have no idea of what they're actually going to be doing.
honestly? It's one of those things.
So-
Like, there's just it's all speculation. They're playing it like all we really know. There is a soccer ball robot. There is a black stormtrooper.
That's about it. And there's
about
a
it.
real Millennium Falcon
Yeah, that they built.
that they actually built.
And we know there's sand.
And part of the Millennium
Yeah,
Falcon is a miniature Batmobile. We know that too. Very cool.
I see what a funny that it doesn't matter what movie you're in or what trilogy you're in. You always come back to Tatooine.
Always.
It's because shooting in sand's easy.
Exactly.
Sand planet, that's easy.
Yeah,
We got one of them.
It's like we did Planet Hoth. That was a frost planet, but it was cold.
exactly.
Let's go to the sun. The
Yeah.
sun.
There's some.
Summer sun.
Yeah.
Speaking of summer sun,
Yeah.
next week Aaron Lee's back.
Next year, yeah. I
Yeah.
think what we should do is just have a battle to the death between Aaronbot and Aaron Lee.
Oh my god, it'd be like in Buffy when they had the Buffy bot. You guys didn't watch Buffy.
Yeah, but at the moment, I watched Buffy. Thank you very much.
Do you like Buffy bot more than Buffy?
I didn't watch Buffy.
That's why you're not a regular on this podcast.
Ooh, calm down.
Bastard.
No, at the moment, Aaronbot's sort of just a piece of paper duct taped to the side of a speaker that spews out the word Nintendo every now
Which
and then.
Nintendo helped me build.
Yes, okay, with Pikmin money.
Yeah.
We have to strap some.
We've established this.
We'll strap some like box cutters to it so it poses a threat, and then we'll just throw it at Aaron Lee, and whoever comes out as the victor will continue as part of the Circle Gherkin tradition.
I do remember that when we got the sound bites from Aaron for his permission to do the Aaron bot, he said we did have to play the last message in case we used it for evil, which
For
we
evil?
haven't. We clearly haven't.
No, it's nothing. He wouldn't have said any of this without being prompted. It's normal.
No, but he did send me this message, which we just got to play real quick before we finish the podcast.
Okay,
So
okay.
Here it is.
Aaronbot.
Gentlemen, please, just remember that these are only recordings. I'm not actually with you right now. I'm having fun in the sun.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was aware that Aaron wasn't here and that it was recorded messages.
Of course, it was
but
a
we didn't-
recorded message.
We didn't use it in a way that it wouldn't have been used.
Until, we release it out into the wild where there's recordings of Aaron saying, I'm going to kill the president. I didn't ask him to record that. He just did that.
Yeah, no, that's what was weird.
That's real weird.
I think Aaronbot's maybe safer than Aaron.
Possibly. I don't know. As long as we don't, amp it up to insensitive again.
And it's not even, it was stupid of him because he should have just killed our Prime Minister. Because Tony Abbott's
We don't
a
even
fuckwit.
have
That's
a
not
president.
But I just wanted to say it in case he listens to it.
Tony Abbott?
Listens to our casual pop culture podcast. Yeah, It
Nailed
was a
it.
setup just to say the line.
All right, well, I think that is enough of that. Enough of this.
Can we play the Aaronbot music to exit out tonight?
I think we might have to.
Double play?
Yeah, double play.
feature.
All right, everybody. I've been Ash Whaling, otherwise known as Modern. We've been joined by the Brocco.
Hey.
And
Bye.
Hey,
This is why
bye.
you're not a regular.
It's all right. You'll pick it up. And the kid Charisma, large and in charge.
Oh, large and in charge. I mixed the shit.
You did.
Yeah.
Then Aaron's
All right.
back and Aaron can do it again. next
Yeah, I
week.
don't want to do it
Aaron
again.
can do it next week. We're going to leave you with the Aaronbot Mega Mix.
Nintendo!
Everyone just give me your best one. Nintendo!
Nintendo! Hey, wait. Aaron wants to say something.
Love all your faces. We'll see you next week.
Now with the Mega Mix.
Nintendo! Nintendo! Nintendo!